Welcome to Indy's Real Estate Gurus. I'm Rick Ripma, your hardworking mortgage guy, and I've been in real estate and mortgages for over 34 years. I've helped over 5,200 folks finance their homes. My team and I believe in custom tailored loans, not the one size fits all approach. We believe there is a right mortgage for you, and we believe we are the team to deliver it.
And I'm Ian Arnold, part of Rick's hardworking mortgage team. I've been in the financial industry for 15 years, helping customers rebuild their credit to get the best overall credit score and then also get the best interest rates for you. I have a passion in helping you secure your overall dreams in real estate, and I have also a huge passion helping you figure out how to pay off your home even faster.
And for the most up-to-date information on mortgages or the Indies real estate market, please go to hardworkingmortgageguys.com. That's hardworkingmortgageguys.com. Or you can call 317-672-1938. That's 317-672-1938. And today, we have a very exciting guest all the way from India.
Yes, Indianapolis.
India and then Indianapolis, right? Yeah. And it's Praveena.
Yes.
Raj, but
Right.
that's not your full last name. So how do you pronounce your last name?
Rajavelu.
Rajavelu.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, see, I got it right.
Yeah.
We'll ask you in 5 minutes.
No, that's not fair. Yeah, so we really do appreciate you joining us today. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me here.
You're welcome. I mean, you have a really interesting background, so we'd love to hear your background. Where were you born, grow up, and then how did you end up from there to here?
Yeah, that's that's a long story, but I'll try to make it as much short as possible. But I'm from India, southern part of India, a state called Tamil Nadu. And in India, we all speak different languages in every state. So, and then growing my mom, dad, and my brother, like I have just one brother. And then growing up, in schools, I was always outstanding student. You know what is outstanding student? Standing out of the class. So basically, like I was into all kinds of sports, not inside the classroom, but I was like pretty much doing everything else, staying inside the classroom, and then did my college. I did bachelor's in computer science. And then I got married to my husband. At that time, he was already here, and that's how I came to America.
Okay.
Yes, and it's been like 21 years.
Wow! Congratulations.
22 years.
That's
yes,
awesome.
To be exact.
Yeah.
Yes.
And his name is Raj.
Raj.
Right.
Mhm.
And he works with you, although he has a full-time job at.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Right. And then he joined me a year ago. In real estate, and he's been a great help.
Awesome. Does he know who the boss is when you're in real estate?
Well, sometimes I have to remind him.
We kind of figured that, didn't we?
Yep.
But he's a great guy. Yeah, he takes care of a lot of things.
Yeah, awesome. And so what does he do at Lilly?
He's an architect.
Okay.
I know he works at Lilly. I don't know anything more than that. I know he's a computer guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So both of you have a lot of computer knowledge.
I cannot say I have a lot of computer knowledge. I did study computer science.
Okay.
But it's been like 24 years.
Okay.
So
have they changed since then?
I really don't know anything other than using computers for checking emails and then just regular stuff. That's all.
Okay.
It's one of those weird things. If you don't keep up to date on it,
exactly.
I mean, if you go back 24 years, just think about it. Nobody really even had cell phones then, and now everybody. Even I walk to the park, and there's 7 and 8 year olds holding a phone. I'm like, you don't need that.
Right. It's like after studying computer science, I thought computer science doesn't need me.
But real estate does.
Yes.
So how did you end up in real estate?
So yeah, that's so it's always like the game connecting dots.
Yes.
So you connect, you go dot to dot, follow the numbers and go dot to dot. So that's how I came into real estate. Like everything is connecting dot. That's what I believe. Like where you are right now, it's like how you connected each and every dot in your life and then came to where you are right now, right? And but in real estate, there is like two main things that made me come into real estate. And so one of that is like my older daughter. She's very ambitious, very sharp. She always has this 5 years plan, 10 years plan, and she knows where she's going. She's very clear on her goals. Um, and then, but in when she was in middle school, there was one time she said, and before real estate, I was a stay-home mom.
Okay.
By choice, because that's what I wanted to do. Um, and then when she was in middle school, she mentioned, "Mommy, I like your life. Just stay home and then take care of us. It's so good." I wish I can be like that when I grow up. And I'm like, what an example I'm setting to my daughter. Like, because this is by choice that I decided to stay home, not because I'm not ambitious or
Right.
anything like that, right? So I want my kids to always be independent, and humble human beings, and not lazing around. There has to be some meaning to your life, right? Like when you are born, there has to be something, whether you find it now or never, but at least you are doing something about it, right?
Right. Yep.
So yeah, and then I was always thinking, okay, now what should I do? Um, I don't want to come back into computer science, but then that's what I studied. So I started looking in some courses. But that time, like one of the realtor, like we were going to sell our home and move into a new home. And the realtor at that time, she said like, "Oh, you can be a really good realtor." And then I'm like, wow, why didn't I think about it? Because I'm always going around to all the model homes, looking around the model homes whenever the new subdivision pops up, even before real estate, right? And then eating their cookies and something. Now they don't give anymore, like most of them. So yeah, but that's what I was always doing. And then I'm like, why didn't I think about it? And that's when it just like yeah, clicked. I should say.
So you loved homes.
Yes.
And that's
Yes,
now,
absolutely.
I'm guessing that real estate is a lot different than going into model homes and just looking at the model homes.
Oh yeah,
is
it's
it?
a lot more. Yes, and I love people because I was brought up in a joint family back in India, so with different personalities, and we learn to live together and understand each other's strengths and weaknesses, and we understand personalities. So I mean that's a great plus. And also like I love people. That's how we can survive in real estate, I
Yeah.
believe. So yeah.
Yeah, because real estate's really about relationships.
Absolutely.
Much more than anything else. It seems like it's certainly one of those top things, correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I totally agree that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so you got into real estate. You came from another country, but you'd been here a while. I know it's very difficult for some people to get going in real estate.
Right.
What did you do, or how did you do it to get yourself going and become so successful?
That's a great question. So, one thing, before I start, I might take long time to analyze, but once I start, I never quit. So that is one of the main thing. And also and I'm also hard worker. But when we got started, the market was great. Like first year, I capped. Second, then next year I became the rookie of the year. Like
Wow.
first year I became the rookie of the year.
Awesome.
In my brokerage, and then so I set goals, and every year from then I have been achieving my goals, and definitely like never look. I never looked back. There is no looking back. And I enjoy each and every bit of it. When you really enjoy something, now this is my fifth year in real estate, and then when I I did not even realize it's been already 4 years. So this is amazing when you enjoy, when you are passionate about something, and when you're building something bigger. And so yeah, when you're keep on looking forward for your future, yeah, that's what keeps me going. Yeah.
So I know you're with Keller Williams now. So did you actually start with Keller Williams? And if so, what made you choose that brokerage to go to?
Okay. Yes, I did start, but before that, I interviewed 7 other brokerages. So I always listen to my instinct. So within like matter of 3 days, I interviewed like total 7 brokerages, including Keller Williams. And then my instinct said Keller Williams, and that's how I started in Keller Williams. But then when I went into my office, I saw the culture and I saw how people are like welcoming you with great smile. They are not looking. They did not see me as newbie or like a competition or anything like that. The culture was so good. So I think that's what made me stay and start in Keller Williams.
Yeah, it's very interesting. And you would think that one realtor to another one, you're like, oh, I'm direct competition with you. But it never feels that way.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And so that's what I always feel like I am my own competition. It's how good you give the service to people or your clients. That's what all it matters, and your business will always be really good, like as long as you give the best service. So there is no competition, and there is so many clients. You cannot have everybody's business, right?
Right. Couldn't
There
help
is so
everybody.
much. Yeah, this world is, there is abundance of opportunity.
Right.
Like you don't have to compete with each other, but you can get better and better every day for yourself. Like, so you're basically competing with yourself.
Yes. And I think it's important that everybody in your office, they all need to do well,
Right.
and they need to be good at what they do, because they can hurt you by getting your reputation for your company as a negative people thinking, oh, they aren't any good, because they kind of put everybody in the same boat. So being there to help each other makes, in my mind, total sense. It should be what everybody does, but it's
Yes.
not.
Yeah, absolutely. And also I have always seen successful people or happy people.
Yes.
They always like to help other people. That it's vice versa too. Like when you help other people grow and you become happy and successful too. And I completely believe that. And that's what I saw in Keller Williams when I in my brokerage when I got started.
Awesome. So you got to Keller Williams. How did you get your first client? What did you do? What kind of processes did you do to get that first client?
So my business started with my spears. So they are the couple that I started working. So my license was coming 2 days after, but they were already talking to me, and
So you were
about
hustling
the home.
already.
Yeah. Right. And I had to tell them, yeah, let's wait for my license. But no, I by that time I already spoke to Keller Williams and decided that I'll be with Keller Williams. And then so my license, I did not receive the license in my hand yet. It was coming. So I already started working and then getting help from Keller Williams. So that's what impresses me. Even now, if I think about it, my sponsor, he came over to show the home for this couple. Because I didn't have license at that time, but then he was willing to drive down and show the home for this couple. And so that's how it started. It's like my biggest strength is my spheres, like our friends and our network. So that's where we started too, and then through referrals, the business grew.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So if somebody's wanting to work with you, either to buy or sell a home, how would they get in touch with you?
Yes, they can call me anytime or text me anytime at 317-345-6125. Again, my number is 317-345-6125.
And to get a hold of Ian or I, go to hardworkingmortgageguys.com. That's hardworkingmortgageguys.com. Or you can call 317-672-1938. That's 317-672-1938. And thanks for listening to Indy's Real Estate Gurus. The gurus we interview share valuable insights. They reveal their strengths, personalities, and how they'll work for you. While we hardworking mortgage guys secure your best mortgage, real estate gurus work hard too. They avoid problems the amateurs don't see. They listen. They find unrealized opportunities. If you're buying or selling a home, a real estate guru is a valuable asset. If you're even thinking of buying or selling a home, keep listening and definitely call one of Indy's real estate gurus.
All right, so I'm gonna put you on the spot here. So, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take away your phone for 24 hours. You cannot work whatsoever. What do we catch you doing for fun?
I love to stay in my garden. Sometimes my husband thinks I talk to plants.
They say that's good for plants.
But I love gardening. That's also like my meditation time. That's what I feel always. But I play pickleball.
Okay.
Yes, I started playing with my husband and his friends. At least like 3 to 5 days in a week.
Wow.
We play pickleball. So and then I just so if it also depends on, like, if it is summer, I go to nurseries, like, if I have some time between the appointments, if I see any nurseries nearby, I always like to stop by and look at the plants. Now I don't have enough place in my garden to plant anything. That's why I go to nurseries. And so cooking is one thing, and I'm really working on to love it. But I love eating food. But
Cooking's different, right?
right.
So the pickleball,
Uh-huh.
it's so did you just pick it up just because, hey, it's become popular here, or what made you two decide let's do this? Because it blew up here in Indiana.
Blew up everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so funny because when we bought our current home, we were like one of the first few that moved into the neighborhood. So they had pickleball court, and then for almost 1 year, nobody was using it. And no one, I probably at that time it was just developing, subdivision was developing too. And then and it's right in front of our home. And then every day we look and we are like, first of all, we didn't know what is pickleball. Like 4 or 5 years ago, we didn't know what is pickleball. When they said, like, in amenities, we have pickleball in this neighborhood, I'm like, what is pickleball? I never heard of that. And then we see this court, and then we know tennis, and uh, you know, uh, not that we know to play, but we know tennis. What is tennis? But we saw this pickleball, and then we started browsing. Okay, what is pickleball? At least we should start using it. And then me and my husband, we started like just playing with the ball, and then that's how we started. And then later, like, a few other people joined, and now like we are like pretty big group, and that's right, like it's everywhere now. We have new pickleball courts everywhere that it's popping up, like
Yes.
4, 6 courts, 8 courts, everywhere it's popping up, and it's a very popular.
All right. So who's more competitive, you or your husband?
He thinks he is competitive. I let him think that.
No,
It's
okay.
Yeah, pickleball is amazing how it just came on the scene, but it's what a great thing for you though that you play pickleball. Now your whole community's playing pickleball.
Right.
You get to meet all those people.
Yes.
And they know what you do now. I'm betting.
Yeah.
Right.
And we have so much fun.
Yeah.
We have so much fun, and we have like different groups, and then we put in like who is available to come play now, and then if I'm not in appointments, I'm like, I'm always there. I just change and then take my racket, pickleball racket, and go. So it's like it's amazing.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, but one thing she didn't tell you is her paddle has buy with Praveena, and she wears the shirt with their logos, and it's like, see, I'm sponsored. You guys see this?
I guess that works. Sponsor yourself. Yeah.
I wear my real estate hat, like when I'm going outside.
Well, that works. So, what would you say your superpower or superpowers are?
Superpowers. I don't think I have any, but but one thing is whatever I do, I'm pretty consistent. So once I get a clear picture of what I want to accomplish, I do the plans. Like because then I start doing the plans and then I just start executing it. I don't think too much. I just start jumping right away. And that's one thing. Because I don't procrastinate things. I would say like if I know like I have to do this, I just start doing it right away. And I think that is one of the biggest one. I know like some of the newer agents, they want to learn first, like they want to take their time to learn and then they want to, so they think like they are confident after taking the time to learn. But I always feel like you're confident when you're in the field working, and you along the way you also learn. Like, so I would say just start right away whatever you do. If you know you have the right plan, don't procrastinate anything.
I
Yeah.
could not agree more.
Right.
And it's what I notice. I'm the same way as you. When I do something, I just do it. And I've seen many people come into mortgages
Mm-hmm.
and they come in and they need to know this and they need to know that and they need to know this and they never get going because
Right.
there's always something else you need to know,
Right.
right? And for me, and this may be why I do it this way, for me, I learn the best by doing it,
Absolutely.
right? And as long as you have a good mentor who you can bounce things off of, which you went to KellerWilliams, and it sounds like you had great mentors that you could jump in, but they were there for you. You went to show a house, you didn't have a license, they were there for you.
Right.
And they probably were there to answer questions, which also help you learn.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, when you're ready, everything lines up.
Doesn't it? Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So just jump in.
Yeah, just jump
Yeah.
in. And it's like they say, like, everything starts with that first step. But if you're not taking that first step, like,
Yes.
then where are you starting, right?
Well, I think that's a big superpower.
Absolutely.
I think one of your other superpowers is your ability to talk to people and to get common ground. You seem like that's something that you're really, really good at. Is that
right? So the conversation, it was not always my biggest strength, I would say. But when especially when you're like working with many people, I'm a very good listener, and from there I will know exactly what they want. I listen, and even my clients, they say like I completely listen what they want, and then I start suggesting the things for them. So not straight away when they just call. you know um, it's not that someone calls me and then I'm like, hey, let's meet up in this home before even I know what they really want, right?
right?
Like, yeah. So yeah, and also it's the process how to make it easier for my clients. And that all starts with listening and then understanding what their needs are. So yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, do you specialize in working with just the India people with the same ethnicity? Because we've had a couple people. We had one guy on recently was Arabic and everything, and so he spoke their language, and he's like, "That's my niche."
Arabic is a language.
I know, but I'm just saying. But he spoke, so it was
He's
easy for him. He was easy to communicate. So, do you specialize in working with people from India, or or is it everybody?
So majority of my clientels are, like I said, like from my peers, and then my peers started with our friends mostly, and then but I do work with uh, all walks of all different diversities and different people. But majority is, you're right, from India.
All right, and then what languages do you speak if somebody is listening to us right now?
Better get a list because I'll bet it's long.
I know. That's why I figured I'd ask.
You know what? I just speak in English.
I wish I could.
Yeah, but there are, sometimes it is comfortable, like when you see people who speak your own language, and then somehow we just start speaking our language.
Yes.
But most of the people that are here, like they are comfortable talking in English. At least
Okay.
they understand English. So yeah.
Yeah, my brother-in-law is from one of them is from India, and he was telling me that, like you were saying, that every little area
Mhm.
there's a local language
Right.
many times. Then there's I don't know if it's called a state. I may be wrong.
Yeah,
A
there
state
is.
language,
Uh-huh.
and then there's a national language.
Yes, there are 24 national languages. Believe it, it's not
Yeah,
just
that's what
one.
he was. So you have to learn a large variety of languages, which I mean I don't know. I barely speak English, right? But I think
Right.
that really helps your mind if you're able to speak
Yeah, multiple languages.
multiple languages.
So I actually know, I can understand, I can at least fluently talk just two languages, but
Okay.
then I can understand at least like four languages,
Okay.
and then communicate as much as like other people can understand me. Not fluently, but as much as other people can understand.
Yeah, but I think that's big,
Yes.
and I think it helps people if you're able to do that if that's the case. Of course, we've had people say, well, yeah, but no, they lived all over the world, and they said most places you go, they speak English.
Right.
Yeah, and in India, wasn't it that like the British had,
Right.
and there's some reason that there's so many languages there. They didn't want everybody to speak the same language, right?
No, it's not that. Like we are, in India, you can see so much of diversities, and we still stay united, like as a nation, right?
Okay.
Like if you see every state speaks, like the culture is different, the language is different, so much of differences, but with among all the differences, we still stay united. Um, the it's not, even before Britishers came to India, there was like so many languages.
Okay.
So it's a if you look back into the history, even like well before, like there was always like multiple languages, and still people lived together, united, and so sometimes even I wonder how did they communicate then? If they go state to state, like
Yeah.
is it like sign language? But I don't know how that worked. But yeah,
it's crazy. It's amazing.
because now we have many common languages, but then at least like Hindi is the most most speaking language in India, and also English is the common language that we all speak now.
Yeah, English is everywhere,
Right.
pretty much.
Yes.
All right. So if somebody's looking to buy or sell with you, or just even have real estate questions, how would they reach you?
They can always reach Praveena Raj at 317-345-6125. Again, my number is 317-345-6125.
And to get a hold of Ian or I, it's hardworkingmortgageguys.com. That's hardworkingmortgageguys.com. Or you can call 317-672-1938. That's 317-672-1938.
And now we'll get into the question of the week. And the question of the week is sponsored by, hey, Rick and I, the Hardworking Mortgage Guys, where we believe in helping and supporting you and your realtor by sending constant updates through the loan process. We don't like living in a black hole, so we do not allow you to live in a black hole. All right, so here's your question. And this one might really stump you. What was your first card?
Well, so first car. My husband's first car is Civic, Honda Civic. Mine was like, I should say Honda Odyssey that he bought. I didn't buy it, so I cannot say my car. The one he gifted is Honda Odyssey. So, but now the first car that I bought myself is like Ioniq, Hyundai,
Okay.
Hyundai Ioniq.
Yeah. So are the Hondas still around? Because I know they just last forever. So
Yeah, the Honda Odyssey, I still have one at home. Like I still use it sometimes.
yeah.
Now, your car, is it electric?
Yes,
That's what I
all
thought.
months.
How do you like that?
It's really good. From January, I never went into gas station, so that's a good feeling because where I I I I know like most of realtors can relate to me because until it shows end, I don't realize that I need to go to gas station. So there is sometimes like I'm just praying like, God help me reach my destination, help me reach my destination or a gas station. But now like I just plug it in. So that's like that is the yeah. Not I'm not excited about technologies. I'm like I don't have to pray like pull God into like helping me.
Yeah. So
reach the
where do you
destination.
charge it?
At home.
Okay.
Yeah.
At night. So you
Yeah,
just
at
plug it
night.
in every
Yeah,
night
I
and
just
it's always charged.
yeah, and I probably charge just like 2 days, or sometimes 3 days. Like I put it in. Otherwise, like it's all fine. Like
Yeah.
it just covers the whole week.
Yeah, I don't have an electric car. I think they can be phenomenal. They have a lot of positives, and I love the way. And I don't really understand why in an electric car they can put in, you know, 55-inch TV screens. I'm a little exaggerating, but in a normal car, your nav system is this little comparative, just this little tiny screen. I don't understand why electric car can have all that. Maybe more electric. I don't know.
I don't know. I drive a hybrid, so I'm
Yeah,
all right.
I don't.
All right. So let me ask you this: what do you consider one of your most memorable deals?
Memorable deals. So it's always like well, there is one particular scenario like because the husband passed away, and then wife doesn't have much experience in the country, just been here like probably less than 2 years, like 1.5 years, and then we had to go through the whole process of like probates and then whatnot. So and then at the end of the day, like at the end of the deal, like she's like I was able to help her. She was like very happy. I mean, that is the satisfaction that I get by helping other people. So that's the most satisfied deal like I had. I mean, every transaction is very important, but then this one I was like able to help from the scratch.
Yes.
So that was one of the most memorable. Yes.
Yeah, the ones that hit your emotions usually, I think,
Yeah.
they make it feel different. And one thing I think that story tells, especially for newer people out there, is you catch people in many different circumstances when they're buying a home,
Yes.
or they're having to sell their home, whether they're, oh, now I got a new baby, or hey, husband just passed, or there's a lot of situations. So as a realtor, we've joked that you guys all got to have your counselor hats on too. So
Right. Yeah. And then yeah, just take all the emotions and then just still stay calm and then make them feel all right.
Yes. Yeah, it's so important, and it's not always a happy time,
Right.
right? I think that's something
Absolutely.
a lot of people miss. Kind of with that, what would you say are some of the misconceptions people have about what a real estate agent actually does?
Uh, well, they think like all the realtors have their own time, like I'm their own because just because they are their own boss, it doesn't mean like we have enough time. Sometimes the misconception is like we work in our time, but it's actually like having so many bosses instead of
Right.
just one boss.
Yeah.
So that is one thing. Uh, so and then now like because I'm okay because I enjoy what I'm doing. But still, because when you enjoy something and when you're passionate, you don't know you can work all day long, and that's how I have been doing. But then now I want to give that time to the family. So still, some people think like we work like 24/7, but we still realtors have family and we have to fix that. So um, yeah, that is the couple of things that uh, I think. And also and another thing is like sometimes I see like um new buyers, first time home buyers, they think like they can go into any builder, and then builder represents them. But all they have to understand is like they are the sellers. They represent themselves, so they still need an expert advice of all whole process, through all the process, until they close. Because buying an existing home, you can close it in like, a few weeks, but then when you build, it's like a very long process.
Yes.
So you still need guidance.
Yeah.
So that is another thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
I would say to that point, now I spent 11 years with a new home builder. Okay.
Boo.
No, they're a necessary evil just like us. I think a person actually needs a home buyer actually needs a real estate agent maybe more when they're building a house. Yes. Because there's so much that goes on in the process, mm-hmm. and you kind of forget that the builder is also the seller, like you just said. And you want that third party, that real estate agent who's there to help you. Right. And quite honestly, as a new home salesperson, it's actually better in our minds to have the real estate agent there, because the real estate agent many times can help explain something that is just normal. Right. That a first-time home buyer, even a 15th-time home buyer, may not realize that the market's changed and this has changed and it does it this way. But the seller telling you that doesn't have as much impact as the real estate agent who's done this a million times and can say, yes, this is what happens, this is how it works. Absolutely. And so I think it makes it, and the reason I think it's valuable is because I think it makes it a lot less stressful on the home buyer. Right. And that's what it's about. Yeah, absolutely. And you need someone who really knows the whole process. Yes. And then can guide you. So, because as a realtor, I was able to save, it's not just like at the time of signing, right? Like you still have your inspections, your walkthroughs, and the whole thing, your design center selections, options, and everything. So you can still save a lot of money in this whole process. So, yes. Absolutely, you're right, Rick. Like, yeah, whether it is first time home buyer or like, doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter. No. Yeah, you need someone to represent you. I agree. I think the same thing about somebody who thinks they're going to sell their house on their own. Yeah. I think, I understand the thought, because if you don't understand the entire process, you don't realize that if you sell your house on your own, the vast majority of people end up netting less money than they would if they had a top agent. Now, I'm not saying if they go get a bad agent. I'm talking about a guru. Yes, right? Absolutely. You get a top agent, you interview a top agent, and you have somebody there. I mean, I know from family experience, not my own personal, but I had a brother-in-law, sister-in-law who made more money, and they know they did because they tried to do it on their own. They had it sold. It fell out because the person didn't like the inspection. They ended up netting $40,000 more once they hired a real estate agent, which I told them from the start to hire. Yeah. Okay, but that was it makes your life less stressful. Mm-hmm. So even if you make the same money, your life is less stressful. But I believe you're going to make more money. I believe it's going to be much less stressful, and you're going to be a lot happier for it. Yes, absolutely. It's like everyone has their strengths, right? If I'm going to a chef, like he's really good in cooking, and then I listen to him, and then I get benefit out of it, because so that's how it is. Like you need an expert who can guide you through the whole process. Yes. It's not, if you are not in real estate, then most likely there is not. People have to accept that they don't know everything. Right. Right. It's not that all the people in real estate knows everything, but we still do our due diligence, to make sure they get the right home at right price, and they are not paying more, or if they are selling,
we make sure they are not underselling, things like that.
Yes. Well, I love cars,
Uh-huh.
but if I can go and I can get a video at YouTube on how to change my motor, pull my motor out and put a new motor in, okay? But I guarantee you, if I do it, it's going to cost me a lot more money. And I think the problem is they don't give a real estate agent, they don't understand what an agent does for them. I think there's so much, and there's so much that knowledge matters. It'd be kind of like going to a doctor. Well, you want to go, if you go to a great doctor,
Right.
they're going to do much better. I just think it's important.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Absolutely. Yes.
So are you saying WebMD does not tell me exactly what's wrong with me when I look it up?
Oh, it does. But look, even if it tells you what's wrong, and it may be right, it may be wrong, but even if it tells you what it is, you still want a doctor who makes sure that you're getting, that's, I know that's your point, right? Yeah. It's just, man, it makes so much, it's so important to have an expert walk you through the process, be there by your side. It's just so much easier, and it's so much, I think you end up with, at the minimum, breaking even, but I always think you make money by hiring a real estate agent.
Yes. And another thing is, in my experience, every transaction is different. So what you hear out there in the websites, it's all generic, but every transaction is different. So you do need someone to guide through that transaction.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you mentioned a little bit earlier about first-time home buyers and stuff. So if somebody is looking to possibly, they're thinking about to stop renting and to buy a home, what do you see as the benefits between for a first-time home buyer, whether it's their mental state or even financial state?
Yes, that's a great question. So, um, so I know, I'm pretty sure, like, we all know that rent is increasing on every day, right?
Right.
Since like I got started in real estate. Okay, whoever bought the home at whatever point it is, whoever bought the home uh, in that same rental. So I have helped a lot of first time home buyers to whatever then current rent they are paying to their owners, like around the same amount. Like I have helped them to get a home, because you're in mortgage, right? Like, wouldn't you agree what they are paying with a rent, and then what they pay on their own home? Like there is not too much of a difference.
Most of the time, there's not.
Most of the most of the time, as long as they stay within their limit.
Correct.
Yes. So I think it's many people, they hesitate a lot. It's the thing that really stops them is like the commitment, I believe, because they are scared. Like if it is in rental, um, I should say, like, when, as long as they are qualified, if they are still in rental, there are people like who are like the from the clients that I work, right? People are in the country like for like 15 years, 20 years, still they live in a rental home. And even here, people who are born in America, right? Like still they live in a rental home. And we can buy home at any price point. It's not that we can only find homes at, so it's not that you have to live in a rental home. You can always buy a home, and then make sure, talk to a lender to see if you can really, what is your price point, to stay within your price limit too, right?
Right.
And then at least you are building an equity on your home and saving somewhere. So yeah, just talk to some lender. And I mean, there is so many lenders, right? Like, wouldn't you guys like advise them what is their price point, and
Yes.
then what is the best thing for them for now? Even if they cannot buy right now, wouldn't you advise like how they can improve their credit, or things like that, so that they can buy pretty soon?
Yeah, we do all of that. It's important to do that.
I believe I answered your question, or I don't know.
No, you're good. Yeah, you're all right.
Yeah, so.
But yeah, I mean, you hit some of the things. Is, let's think about it. Is, you were talking about the appreciation on a house or
Right.
versus rent. Okay, so let's say you just stay renting for 5 years, and
Uh-huh.
you're let's say you pay $1,000. Well, after 5 years, you just spent $60,000. All right. Well, now let's say you bought a home and the same price, you're going to spend $1,000. Well, guess what? One, your house is going to appreciate.
Mhm.
Then also you're going to pay a lot to the principal. So let's say you break even. Let's just say everything you had to put in the roof, whatever, you break even. So after 5 years, you sell your home and guess what? You just lived for free for
Yes.
5 years.
Yes. Yeah.
Which is a $60,000 savings in that example.
I'm sorry for saving you money.
Yeah. It's important.
But no, Rick and I talk about it quite a bit, and it's always nice to hear realtors talk about what first-time home buyers, not only mental state, and financial, but what people get out of it. I mean, the freedom of being able to do whatever you want. You don't have to worry about, hey, there's going to be a rent increase here this next year or whatnot. So it is nice to have.
And I do understand some people they don't know how long they will be in one certain places.
Yep.
And that is always there are scenarios, but majority of the people when they plan it and then talk to the experts, they don't have to pay rent forever.
Right.
They can always
The difference in wealth from a homeowner to a renter, last time I looked, it's like $500,000. A homeowner has $500,000 more in investments. Now that could be in equity of the house, things like that. $500,000 more money than a renter has on average. That's huge.
Yes.
It's the way to do it. And yes, I agree with you 100%. There are situations that doesn't make any sense. So if somebody is going to be moving in 3 months, then yeah, you don't want to go buy a house, right? You're going to be moving out or you're getting transferred. But I find so many people they just never get around to it. They always have something that might happen. There's a point where you just got to go, you know what? I need to do this. Because if nothing else, you can take that house and you can rent it and make money on it.
Absolutely.
Right? So it's not the end of the world if that's what you have to do. Now you may have to get some equity out first and buy another house, but that's the case. Yeah. But anyway, I agree with you 100%. It's really important. But if somebody wanted to get a hold of you to buy a home or maybe sell a home, what would be the best way to do that?
Call me at 317-345-6125. Again, my number is 317-345-6125.
And to get a hold of Ian or I, it's hardworkingmortgageguys.com. That's hardworkingmortgageguys.com. Or you can call 317-672-1938. That's 317-672-1938. And follow us for more Indies Real Estate Gurus.
We'd like to thank you for your time. It's been a pleasure having you on our show today.
And it's my pleasure. Thank you so much for having me here.
Yeah. And a reminder, if you know any friends, family, or coworkers looking to buy, sell, or refinance, let us know. We'll be more than happy to help them.
Branch NMLS number 33041. Rick Ripma's NMLS number 664589. Ian Arnold's NMLS number is 1995469. Equal housing opportunity. Some restrictions apply.